So, you remember last week what I talked about with how Inasa, how his mindset of how he viewed Endeavor, you know, how Stain's ideals still carry weight to this day in the story, and how even if Stain never popped up once again, his entire ideology would still carry throughout this series? Well, we get to see that in this chapter. More depth is put onto Inasa's character and Todoroki's, and how these two try to move past their differences and to become better people in general. And the character development, I feel like, is not going to be appreciated as much by a lot of people, or might not be as noticed. And let's discuss that. So, in the flashback we get a little bit more clarification to why Inasa dislikes Endeavor. Now, as I stated, even regardless the development and why Inasa dislikes Endeavor, I made fun of it and I was picking on him, saying like he reminds me of Syndrome. And in a way, his backstory is very close to Syndrome. But the overall message and meaning of it, it's not because he couldn't get an autograph. It was because of the way Endeavor wasn't acting like a true hero. His eyes weren't looking at people. It was just looking at his own selfish desires, his goal. And that's what really pissed off Inasa with last week's chapter. And that was clarified in this chapter, and to be honest with you, I feel like the way it was fleshed out in this chapter is kind of clarified once more. It's not because of the autograph why Inasa was so pissed off, why he's mad with Todoroki, why he's mad with Endeavor. It's not because of that. It's not because he couldn't get an autograph or get a signature or whatever. He's not pissed off. The big reason why he's so mad is because Endeavor doesn't really fit the standard for a hero. He's someone that is very selfish, greedy, and has his own goals, and he just doesn't have that, you know, hero atmosphere that many of them had, that, you know, Inasa was used to when he was growing up. And that's why he disliked him, why he disliked Endeavor, why he didn't like Todoroki, because after the meeting with Todoroki. So let's talk about that. So, it wasn't just because of Todoroki being the son of Endeavor as to why he disliked Todoroki. There was more to it than that. We get a little bit of a flashback to when Todoroki and also Inasa first met, when they had their exam competition a long time ago when they were going up against each other. And we get to see how they, you know, were just doing like a speed test, who could reach the finish line first. And eventually it looked like, you know, Todoroki, he was going to win. He was using just his eyesight. As we remember in the past, Todoroki didn't want to acknowledge his fire side. He never used it. He was someone that clearly had a lot of hatred built up inside of him. He disliked his father. He didn't want to be like his father. We know all about this. One of the big things that drove him as a character earlier on in the series. And so at this point, we know Todoroki is one of those characters that were pretty much straight up an asshole. That's kind of what he was. And when he's speeding along with his ice, he's going incredibly fast. Inasa sees it's like, oh man, that man is incredibly fucking fast and all that. And he's like, I don't like that look in his eyes though, but I'm willing to bet if we become classmates, I think that we can both get along. And as eventually he finally catches up and he actually beats him, in a race, he looks over to Todoroki and he's like, hey man, and all that. And then Todoroki's like, shut up and all that. Like, he's like, fuck you, get away. And it was very similar to what Endeavor did, but there was more to it than that. The big reason why he was so upset with Todoroki was that he didn't view anyone around him as people, or anyone that was actually someone that was in his same status. He wasn't looking at anyone. He didn't care about anyone. He only cared about denying his father's existence. That's the only thing Todoroki wanted to do. And when Inasa saw this, he realized Todoroki didn't give a shit about anyone. He wasn't the standard for a hero. He had once again that darkish type greedy desire that you would see from some heroes, which Stain shit on in his arc. So once again, Stain being really relevant, but also the development that Inasa got along with side of Todoroki in this chapter stunned me. So let's talk about that development. So the development that was received was to where Todoroki and Inasa, they both realized what was wrong. Todoroki realized what he was doing wrong. He realized that him constantly viewing and trying to deny his father's existence, it was a fucked up way to kind of deny everyone around him, and he was pretty much hurting everyone's feelings. He wasn't viewing everyone around him as equals or anything like that. He was just being a straight up ass. And he realizes what he did wrong in the past, and he realizes the situation that's currently going on here right now with how they cannot work together as teammates is because of what Todoroki did. The very reason for the reason why this is all happening is because of him. And he realizes this, and he's like, holy shit, I caused this. I was doing the exact same thing, kind of like my father, and I did this exact same thing because I wanted to deny his existence. This is my mistake. And so, you have it to where Inasa, he also goes through the exact same similar dialogue. He realizes what he's been doing. I mean, regardless of Todoroki starting it, Inasa, he also was looking at Todoroki with hatred. He was looking at him like an asshole. He's like, you're a fucking ass. That's kind of how Inasa was viewing Todoroki and Endeavor, and in a way, he was being exactly similar to how the Todoroki was, or how Endeavor was. Endeavor, we know he wants to surpass All Might, and when you have it toward Todoroki, he just wanted to deny his father, and Inasa, he was pretty much just acting like Todoroki. He just did not like them. He wanted to deny them as heroes. He didn't think they were the right people, or the right symbol for people, and that's kind of what was going on here. They both realized their mistakes and what they were doing wrong, and why this teamwork is not working right now, why they can't work together. So they came to that realization, and they finally worked together at the end of the chapter, which set up some beautiful teamwork and characterization and development for these two characters. So, job well done, Horikoshi. Job well done on the development. You surprised me with that development of Todoroki and Inasa in just the same chapter going on at the exact same time, because the panels where you think Todoroki is talking can be applied also to Inasa as well. Very similar, it can be applied to him and also what they were thinking. So good job, Horikoshi. I'm very amazed by what you did with this chapter, especially with, fleshing these two characters out and allowing them to develop and realize what they did wrong. Do I think they deserve their license, though? No. The point still stands. Like, the point still stands for what they did in last week's chapter, regardless of their development that they got in this chapter. Regardless, they do not deserve their license. I'm sorry. It just, no. Now, I think they should be able to retake the test eventually and then get their license. But at this time, no, when it comes to this exam, no. They do not deserve it. Regardless of them working together right now, that one moment of lack of teamwork could have killed thousands of people. If this would have been all for one, that man could have killed so many people in the span of them wanting to bitch at each other. So no, I do not think they should get their license after what they did with last week's chapter, regardless of them working together now. I just do not think so. And honestly, they might still get it. I'm willing to bet it might go that since this is a shonen. But since Boku no Hero Academia is the type of series that kind of gets away from the normal shonen stuff, there is a possibility these two still might fail, which I do hope happens, because that could add more character development for these two characters when they finally retake the exam to become, actual proper heroes. It would add that development for these two characters to realize, like, what we did wrong in the past and how we could be better heroes now and work together. Hopefully that's something that happens. Now, getting on to Deku, Izuku's side of the chapter, along with Shindo, Shindo surprised me. Shindo completely surprised me. Like, I thought he was down because after using his abilities, he seemed like he just really couldn't fight at all. But thanks to, the lack of teamwork that, Inasa and Todoroki did, it put him in a bad spot to where he couldn't really counterattack and fight. And it had it to where, Izuku had to save him. But in reality, Shindo had enough strength, even though he's numb, he can't really feel his body, he had enough strength to at least hack back with his quirk and stall some of the villains that were coming after the people they need to rescue. So, Shindo proving that even though he looked like he was down, he was using some form of setup against the villains to be able to take them down. So he's an intelligent individual if you look at his character, the way he was making it look like he was just down, he couldn't fight, but then he got back up and did some shit. That surprised me too. So Shindo, good job, good play right there. That was a very good play on your part. That was, a very good play. I thought he was down, but he managed to actually do something when he was just hiding, how he could actually still move and use his quirk ability. Now, Izuku, as a character, I'm surprised he didn't get that big of a spotlight in this chapter. I thought he would have had more of a role in this chapter because of what last week's chapter ended off of, but I see what Horikoshi did with this chapter. He wanted to focus once again more on Inasa and Todoroki, kind of conclude that development in that little segment of this exam, because that's kind of one of the big points that's been building up in this arc is these two characters, and so it's not really just about Izuku, it was about these characters as well. So, as we all know, Boku no Hero Academia is not a series that just focuses on Izuku, gives him development, so it's kind of to be, completely understandable if you think about it. At the end of the day, these other characters need development too, so it's not just Izuku's story, him to have the entirety of the focus. But I know many might be disappointed with this chapter because he did not have that big of a role in this chapter. I mean, he was doing some good stuff, but I mean, he didn't have the biggest of roles as the other characters in the said chapter. So overall, I say this chapter, a pretty fucking awesome chapter. I'm willing to bet Izuku's probably going to succeed and pass this exam just because of what he did with saving Shindo, but also working together with him. And I do hope that Todoroki and Inasa loses this exam. They need to be kind of booted out. They do. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Y'all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.